young Candice, a Nanjing native. In my city, the name Joan Rabe is etched into our memory. Remarkably, at the start of my career as a journalist, I've been lucky enough to interview his grandson Thomas Rabe twice.
And as a Nanjing local, I actually lived inside the city.
As a 74-year-old German, Thomas Rabe might know Nanjing even better than some younger locals.
Das ist the Purple Mountain, da oben ist das Sun Yat-sen here, and there's a saying in Nanjing, if the Purple Mountain is burning, Nanjing is lost. Dezember. Ich bin sehr enttäuscht, als ich durch einen Luftangriff aufgeweckt werde. Die Japaner haben in der letzten Nacht einige Stadttore besetzt. Wir sind im Komitee-Headquarter eingetroffen und gründen innerhalb von 10 Minuten ein International Red Cross Association. Alle 100 oder 200 Meter stoßen wir auf Leichen. Die Japaner marschieren in Truppen von 10 bis 20 Mann durch die Stadt und plündern die Läden. The Japanese claimed my grandfather has only described 40,000 dead people, and in total it had been 300,000. But you have to imagine, at this time Nanjing was a very big city, and my grandfather was not allowed to go outside of the city at the river Yangtze, where the execution occurred, so he could see only one part of all the atrocities what happened.
It reminds me of, actually there is a autumn hiking annually. So I took part in that hiking last year. The route was just like along the safety zone at that time.
The safety zone is like this. There was a house of my grandfather in this area. Mm-hmm. There was a Japanese here and the American embassy here.
Yeah.
Everything was included here. The most important information about Nanjing is in the book which my grandfather has written. It's 2,000 pages, 10 books. My father, who received the book from my grandfather, had been a general physician, and with a lot of emergency at night, and he was not able here to take care of the publication. And I said to my father during lifetime, I will do it here. I'm the third member of this family.
To mark the 80th anniversary of the victory in the World Anti-Fascist War, Thomas Rabe set off on a busy trip in China with his weighty manuscripts. On August 15th, he attended a series of events at the Memorial Hall of the victims in the Nanjing massacre by Japanese invaders.
It's very important here to remember the end of a war, because it's the beginning of a peace, and we are very happy to live 80 years in peace now in Germany and in most of the part worldwide. As the president said, we have to recognize and know what in the past, to think about a bright future.
南京成为首个以国际和平城市形象出现在世界舞台的中国城市。正因为我们脚下这片土地承载着历史的苦难，我们才更加深切地感受到和平的空气和阳光是无比的珍贵。我们永远铭记德国的约翰·拉贝、丹麦的贝恩哈尔·辛德贝格、美国的约翰·马吉等一系列众多的国际友人。
Thomas is now an inheritor of the historical memory of the Nanjing massacre, one of the first international friends to receive this title.
Together with my international friends, here's the second generation here of those people who had been in Nanjing together with my grandfather. We met sometimes at the 13th of December each year, and we have WeChat group here, and I had intensive contact here with those families. I was also opening an exhibition in Hamburg at the previous house where my grandfather has born, and I wrote a one-page article here about my grandfather's life, and the newspaper did not publish. My name is Thomas Rabe. I'm the grandson of John Rabe.
In Germany, Rabe's story may have faded from public memory, but in China, he is still widely remembered. Thomas recently launched his Douyin account, which has already attracted over 200,000 followers, clear evidence of this enduring resonance.
I had a discussion with my Chinese friends and advisors in Germany, and they said here, for international, you must make a movie series which is touching the people, and we are looking now for Chinese movies makers. John Rabe's The Light in the Darkness, and if you look inside, it's a play script with dialogues, and together with my wife, I have written a very nice book which has a name, Grandpa Rabe Tells Chinese Children. It's very interesting personal stories with this book here, also talking about Nanjing. We are talking about what's happening, but we are don't showing war pictures here. And we have another crazy idea, a German producer for toys, we call it in Germany, Playmobil, made a small figure of my grandfather sitting at the table here, like in the Nanjing Massacre Memorial, with a helmet here, with a telephone, and the children can play like with a Barbie. They also will learn something about Chinese history.
With the commemorations and interviews concluded, Thomas Rabe's Nanjing itinerary isn't over yet. He returned to Nanjing University of the Arts in search of his memories.
Very beautiful. Remember, I also have visited an institute for sculpture arts in Nanjing, maybe more than 10 years ago, because at this time they wanted to make a sign for the John Rabe statue in the John Rabe house. Like life-size.
Besides revisiting old places, he had another goal on this trip, to find an artist to create a full-body statue of his grandfather for the John Rabe Communication Center in Heidelberg. By chance, he came across a familiar face.
I met twice within the last 15 years. It's the John Rabe house with all the other survivors. And she was very active and could have a perfect memory, and I really miss her. I'm really touched here because she is transmitting the information what happened at this time to the next generation. And this is his survivor.
Yes,
and maybe her husband, I'm not sure, Mr. Lee. This is for donation for
thank
you.
我正需要这个。
Seeing a gentleman in his 70s press on to keep the memory alive. We, born in Nanjing, have no excuse to stop or let it fade.